Let me go. And what's up, everybody? Welcome to Planted Xbox. I said Planted Xbox, episode 16. But today's episode, we're probably going to be talking a whole lot about PlayStation-related content, with a few, Xbox tidbits here and there. But we're all gamers, so it's all good. It's all okay. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. And we can get the show started. I am your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth. And we're going to start today off with Chris Righteous, the resident pony, who probably is going to have a lot of unnecessary things to say today.
He means I got a lot of facts to say, but he don't like hearing them, so he's going to call them unnecessary. But what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris Righteous, the pony of the podcast. Very exciting time to be a gamer. Shout out to all my Xbox brothers, man. Yo, it's going to be okay, man. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Phil Spencer is great. But we about to see that greatness tomorrow. All right?
It's that greatness. Okay, don't get your hopes up too high. And
I got my hopes up very high.
Of course, sure. We have Coke Boy Jay in here. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing really, really good. A lot of topics to talk about today. A lot of hype. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to seeing a lot of the new games come out tomorrow. I was watching IGN's thing a little bit today. They were showing some gameplay for a lot of the games, but I tuned off because it got a little boring.
Yeah, I missed it. A lot of stuff today, honestly. I forgot all about the summer. Was it Summer of Games or something like that?
Yeah, Summer of Games from IGN. Mm-hmm. I'll go back to it tomorrow and finish watching some of it, but other than that, I've been doing good. I've been buying my parts for my new PC that I plan on building, so everything's coming together. I just need to find the motherboard because a lot of them are sold out right now. Gotcha. Other than that, we're doing good.
And Koi.
Yo,
what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I forgot that the summer of gaming thing was happening today. Should I probably catch up on that? Mm-hmm. The PlayStation jump, like I'm just ready to see games. So I mean that's it. Was good, y'all.
And Nick Banks, man, how you doing?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Can't wait. Kind of actually hyped for this PS Now filler show that's coming up. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Can't wait to see Ratchet and Clank. I can't wait to see Jack and Dexter. I can't wait to see PS All Stars, man. I'm a little pumped for that. I miss those little games. You know what I mean?
That's right. Don't forget the failed movie producer games, man. They
Well, they after that COVID thing, they're a little backed up. That's why they coming out with these double A's. That they great show tomorrow.
Yo, am I missing something? Did anything like leak or something? Like, what's going on?
Nah, it's just my source. You feel me?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, nah.
So,
Mr. Media X.
Right.
And I apologize for the delay today, guys. I just had to handle a few things, and of course, because I'm on PC, the computer would not want to open Discord, so I had to kind of force restart the stupid computer so that Discord can open when I click on it. So, and there are people who actually game on these things, but that's beyond that. So let's talk about it. PlayStation has moved their date for the PlayStation reveal, and it's officially tomorrow. 1 p.m. Pacific, right? So that means 4 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern,
yep.
3 p.m. Central.
3 p.m. Central, yep.
And last minute, I was able to actually switch my days off, and it had nothing to do with this event. But I'm finally happy to see that this is finally taking place. Maybe we can do what I think we had a show. Did we have a show where it was supposed to happen? But let's talk about like what's being rumored, what's being leaked, what's your expectations? Because a lot of people have their expectations stupid high, from what I can see. And then there's something that happened on, was it Amazon?
Yeah, they leaked. There was like a
they leaked
listing for a 2 terabyte version for $600, I believe.
Yeah.
So they leaked a 2 terabyte version.
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly, there's a 2 terabyte
Yeah.
version that's going to be $600, which means that the standard PlayStation 5 more than likely is going to be $499, which that's what I've been guessing. So
Gotcha. So
Hold on, so it's gonna have a hard drive? Like, what's going on now?
the 2
well, two
terabyte
terabyte
SSD.
SSD, yeah, not hard drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting right there.
Can I just read something from their blog post though?
Sure,
Because
absolutely.
it's very
Yeah.
interesting the way they
Wow.
phrase the language from their blog post. So they said
Absolutely.
we've shared the technical specifications and shown you the DualSense controller. But what's a launch without games? That's why I'm excited to share that we will soon give you a first look at the games you'll be playing after PS5 launches this holiday. The games coming from PS5 represent the best in the industry from innovative studios that span the globe. Studios both larger and smaller, those newer and more established, all have been working hard at developing games that will showcase the potential of the hardware. They said that the presentation will be a little bit more than an hour. From what I've been seeing on Twitter from screenshots, some people that signed up for the event through their PS4, it shows that that's running for 2 hours exact. So
That's a pre-show though. That's the pre-show.
yeah,
They're gonna.
that's including the pre-show.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. When people say it's 2 hours long, I think that either it's going to be like, that includes some of the pre-show, and then maybe some type of small developer commentary after the show. They might have some developers talk more in depth about some of the games or trailers we saw or anything like that. But we'll see, man.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to be a pretty good conference as far as like how much content is going to be shown.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of content for sure. Now, what I've been seeing on Twitter, though, is a lot of people that are talking about all these like massive AAA titles that are going to be shown off. That is not going to happen this conference. I'm telling you that right now because, like they said on their own blog post, studios both larger and smaller,
Yep,
those newer and more established. So you're going to see
You know
some
what's
indies
funny?
in there for sure. You're not going to see a whole bunch of AAA titles.
You
So
know what's
people have to
funny?
temper their expectations.
Bro,
There's gonna be both.
Xbox said that in their blog post too, right before their they made sure they say some big, some small, and obviously the big guys were Madden, Assassin's Creed, and maybe Dirt, and everybody else was like kind of mid tier.
But nobody, you see, here's the thing. Nobody read that though. And even me, I was like the same person that was posting that all throughout Twitter, letting people know, like, hey, this is what they said before their event. That's why I'm reading this now, so people can understand that, hey, those of you guys who believe you're going to see a whole bunch of AAA titles and stuff like that, you're not going to see a whole bunch of them. You're probably going to see like 2 to 3 bangers, but for the most part, it's going to be a variety of different studios.
Man,
Maybe-
I think
Yeah.
no.
Like,
I
maybe-
think there's going to be a good amount of big AAA games. I don't think the whole show is going to be nothing but big AAA. No, absolutely not. It's going to be a mixture of everything else. But I think it's going to be more than 2 or 3 big AAA games that show up there.
So how many?
Like
are you
I
expecting
think
then?
like I mean personally, like I feel like out of the first party you may see maybe like 1 or 2, possibly 3, but then the rest are just gonna be like maybe AA,
Yeah.
possibly third party exclusive deals or something like that they're gonna show off. Just like with that inside Xbox
Okay.
thing. So
You guys got to understand, Sony hasn't showed up to E3 for the past 2 years, right? The past 2 years.
mhm.
They're focusing that this is going to be an all-out showcase of games and stuff like that. They have, I think, 16 studios or 15 or 16 studios. So for them just to show up with only 1 or 2 first-party games, no, I think it's probably going to be.
All right. So all right, let me be more specific then.
Go ahead.
I think they're going to show teasers for other games. I'm talking about more of like in-depth like gameplay trailers and stuff like that. You're probably going to see
Yeah, all right.
2 to 3 first-party titles, and then you will see teasers for other
A couple of
projects that are being
teasers.
worked on. So you probably see like a title for like God of War 2 or something, a new Spider-Man
Yeah.
game, but you're not going to actually see it there
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
demoed.
we're gonna see like
That's
actual,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like you're not going to see a
We're gonna
lot
see,
of first-party games. You're going to see a couple of them, and then some AA titles and third-party. It's a mix.
exactly.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
saying when
yeah.
I say
We're-
first party shit, I'm saying like actual, like potential, like in-game gameplay. Like I'm thinking of like window time frame of like when the last certain title was shown and dropped. 2 now. So that's
Yeah.
why I say 1 or 2 titles, because it's like those are the potential ones that can show you like what this stuff is looking like running on the PS5. Like they said, they weren't going to use PC spec to the PS5. They're going to actually have it on the PS5. So like they did with the Unreal Engine 5 jump. So
yeah, they want all their. This is why they actually took some games out. They actually took some third-party games out because they want most of the games, if not all of the games, running actually on PlayStation 5 hardware. But Sony is usually good with when they first premiere a game that's years away. They're usually good with showing gameplay. They did it with Horizon, with God of War. I think Spider-Man. I think that might have been just a trailer, not necessarily. No. Spider-Man was just a trailer. It wasn't gameplay. But a lot of times, if a game's like 3 years away or something like that, sometimes Sony. Sometimes Sony will show some gameplay of it. But overall, man, I'm definitely excited to see what they see. I think we're still gonna see, like what Jay was saying, we're gonna see a good mixture of games that are actually, maybe like 5 to 8 minutes of actual like gameplay or the game being played. But we're also gonna see some trailers that doesn't really show any gameplay. You know what I mean? Or might not show gameplay or anything like that. So, but.
Before let me give us, because I see Bari in Persona in the chat. Shout out to Bari, Persona, some
Let's go.
council members. Somebody, I forgot who it was. Somebody put it in on my Twitter. A video I did, I think in like 2015, when I was going at Jay Bari in his podcast that he used to do on Thursday nights. I swear to you, the shit used to last about 4.5 hours, dude. And I forgot what, I still to this day don't know what prompted me to do that video. I think I was mad. I don't know what it was, but it. If you listen, I'll try to link it or some shit like that. I'll tweet it out, but it brought me back to like in time. Like, 'cause I think back then I was more on Facebook than I was on Twitter, and in terms of like in the gaming groups we were in and stuff. But like the video, I'm like, damn, what the hell did these guys do to me? And I'm like going in on these guys. Like I've like named everybody that was a part of the podcast, and then when I listened to the video, it actually made me realize I actually missed the podcast. I don't know how long they haven't been doing it, but I actually used to watch it, but it was long as hell. But that was it was a funny video. So it was, if you look up on my channel, at some point you just type in, have you met the council? That's what the name of the video was. But I just saw Persona and Jabari like flash across my screen. I was like, I was able to watch that video at work today. In the bathroom. I'm like, wow.
Yo, shout out to Bari and Persona. Those are my 2 PlayStation brethren, right?
Those are all right.
Those are my guys.
Here's the thing, Chris. It's like, okay, so I appreciate them because they're not like these new generation ponies that you guys got floating around here, bro. Like, but like the level of trolling with them was kind of it was different. Like the shit you got now is just like whatever.
It's more malicious now, but back then it was more lighthearted. Yeah, I agree.
No, but it was like it still. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It was some good shit. They was going in, but it was like I don't know. But it was.
You didn't feel personal. About
Yeah. Like I mean, it was dope though. It was dope.
Yeah, that joint was dope. Kim Masters, I remember.
Yup, Kim Masters. Freaking. Damn, who else? It was Kim Masters, Persona, Jabari. Who was the dude that dressed in the freaking Mortal Kombat?
Oh, you talking about Sarge?
Sarge, yeah, yeah, like
Sarge.
Right, that's what man. It was funny.
Sarge's still around, man. Sarge's still.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
yeah, I think he might have been the one that tweeted it. Yeah, I think he the one that tweeted
it. But Jay Barter posted, we were on his podcast a couple of days ago, and he posted a clip from one of the OG Xbox. You know what I mean? Xbox Godfather, Blazing Phoenix.
Oh yeah, Blazing Phoenix. Yo, I don't care though. I used to watch Blazing Phoenix shit though, for real. I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't know why. Like Blazing Phoenix, his video, I already know how it was gonna start. Some people, there was a lot of content creators back then that kind of held it down. Like there was a fair share of Xbox guys, fair share of PlayStation guys, but the Xbox guys back then had character. Now a lot of them are not around no more. So I'm like, what's left? And then after me, there's some new generation people. But yeah, Blazing Phoenix was he used to go in. Him and that white tank top, yo, he used to go in.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
All right, but back to the subject. I apologize for that. So what do you guys like? So Chris, your expectation is you're expecting to see a lot of games, and do you believe the whole?
See some bangers. He gotta see the bangers, bro.
Yeah, I expect we're gonna see a couple bangers. I expect to be a good amount of games. I think we're gonna see maybe I don't know, maybe 3-4 actual gameplay demonstrations. The rest is probably just gonna be trailers cut up with maybe some gameplay in them or whatever. I expect to see just a mixture of a few first party titles, a few AAA multiplats, a couple of third party exclusives and second party.
What AAA multiplat you think is gonna be there? Who's been sucking on Sony for the last couple weeks?
I think Call of Duty might be on there. COD 2020 for sure.
Call
may be on there
definitely,
for sure.
definitely.
Call of Duty definitely gonna be on there
because PlayStation, they've had that marketing deal with Activision and Call of Duty on lock and I believe that they're going to continue to go with that. But not only that, I also think we're going to see the new Batman game from Warner Brothers.
If Call of Duty shows up there, I think they're going to Assassin's Creed it, meaning they're going to show up with a snippet and then they're going to have their own reveal probably a couple weeks.
But there was a leaked gameplay that came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before. There was some type of, I don't know if that's part of the trailer, but supposedly there was a small snippet of leaked gameplay. I didn't get to see it because as soon as
they leaked the
people pointed it
logo,
out,
and the lead developer David Vonderhaar actually had a pretty interesting tweet about the future of Call of Duty today. So
can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. So I think we might see something about Call of Duty 2020 tomorrow. Well, there's
right?
There's also if we're going based off these Amazon leaks, but you shouldn't take them with a grain of salt. They've also mentioned something to do with Rockstar, possibly, but usually Rockstar doesn't show up to. Usually Rockstar doesn't show up to these events, but they could. They've done it once.
What's good,
Ravenflow? A few times before.
Yeah.
But that's
it's just like how Rockstar operates. Is this why?
Usually shows their games over at Microsoft. So I don't know if
the Batman game too, though.
Wait, hold on. Are y'all talking the same? Because it's
yeah, I'm missing something.
No, because it's not linked up. I hear him and then it pauses and then it stops and goes. So what's happening?
Am I cutting in and out?
Nah, it just sounds like y'all talking to two different people.
I can't hear
Okay.
Nah, well, I'm trying to finish what I'm saying.
Hold up. Let me back out.
While y'all doing that, let me read these super chats and I'll let. Jason Elliott says, "I can't think of a time in life where I use Facebook more than Twitter, bro."
That's a fact.
I mean, remember, Facebook is older than Twitter, but I'm talking about for gaming. Twitter, I just started popping off my Twitter in maybe 20. I had one for a while, but I think I didn't start popping off on it until 2014, maybe 20. And then, I think with Facebook, it was the gaming groups. That's what it was. We were inside these gaming groups, and they were loaded. There were 1,000+ people in these gaming groups, and
I felt like if as of right now, sure, because Twitter's been out a lot for a good while now, and people abandoned Facebook. But we can't act like when Facebook didn't come out, it was the thing. It was the place to go.
It was popping for
Hell
sure.
Yeah.
That MySpace, baby.
The Ravenflow says tomorrow non-believers are cruising for a bruising. So I'm assuming these guys think we're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna just sit there and let you guys predict. Everything in this whole thing, but
this is on fire.
The thing
I'm gonna need you to be take tomorrow. Just be real with yourself. Take off your Xbox fan glasses and be as non-biased as you possibly can when you're seeing these games.
See, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with being non-biased. It's Chris. It's not me that is biased. It's everybody watching me and watching PlayStation that is biased. So when I speak, of course I'm going to seem biased. I'm just not the one like drinking the Kool-Aid like everybody else. If I think something looks good, sure, it looks good. I will be the first to admit it. But if it's so-so, I'm going to treat it so-so. You know what I mean? So the thing is that PlayStation hasn't really shown or talked about anything. The thing is, here, like, I don't understand, right, why people are even so hyped about games. I mean, for PlayStation 5 or being shown anything on
Why
PlayStation
people
5.
are so hyped about games?
No, or for PlayStation 5, they've been telling me PlayStation doesn't need to show anything because they still have PlayStation 4 games to sell. But yet they want to remind me every day how beast this SSD is. They don't know nothing about it, but they know that they see 5.5 gigabytes and they see Xbox at 2.4. Oh, it must be something.
Tim Sweeney said it was the best thing that ever happened.
Tim Sweeney's an alien and he's kissing ass.
Tim Sweeney said best in class. He said best in class. That's a specific quote.
I'm not listening to any of these Twitter texts, to any of these YouTube texts. The people who I'm listening to are actual developers.
Developers and engineers.
Here we go.
The engineers, the architect who actually made the console, like the sources themselves. And I have no reason to believe that they're lying, because you can't in a business and in these businesses lie, right? These companies, these devs, they lie and mislead us at times. But not all the time, and you're really not allowed to lie when it comes to businesses, because that can cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can get sued for lying. Go ahead.
But you got a lot of friends that think that the PlayStation 5 SSD is going to push PlayStation 5 to crazy resolutions and frame rates. They think the SSD. They put the SSD now is more important than the GPU and the CPU.
Here's the thing.
Compared to RAM, isn't the SSD when you consider the other components in the console? Isn't the SSD like the slowest at that point?
No,
it's not. No, to other like memory related stuff. When you consider RAM, the SSD is faster than the RAM.
The SSD isn't faster than the RAM, but the way that the SSD is set up in next-gen consoles is like this. You have other co-processors that are helping out with the I/O throughput, right? So typically, when you have to seek for information, right? You're playing a game, you're trying to seek information from a hard disk, right? Unlike current-gen consoles, it takes too much time because you're going over several interfaces to get there. They need to streamline that process so that you don't see anything like texture pop-ins or like everything just takes too long to happen. Everything needs to be streamlined. Everything needs to happen faster. So in terms of performance, is not directly related to your frame rates or your resolution, but more in the sense of, hey, I can access any piece of information extremely fast without having to wait. And that's specifically what Mark Cerny and a lot of these other devs and engineers are talking about in terms of seek times.
So why do PlayStation gamers care about streaming assets in though? Like,
hold on.
I like texture
because it goes to a concept that's like render in real time. Render as much as you can in real time. And for me to be able to render a shader or my pixels accurately, I need to make sure that I can access that information that's stored on my SSD really fast. Now, it's not just about the speed of your SSD; it's about the underlying architecture working along with it as well, and that's why they implemented co-processors to help out with that as well.
Right,
well,
that's what I've been hearing. Well, first of all, I want to. This guy, King Josh, in the comment section said Linus converted over like MBG. I thought that's funny, but
but he also had a super chat. Somebody want to read that? Because I don't want to read it.
Oh yeah, go ahead, read that.
No, King Josh has a super chat. Did anybody else see it?
He said, "Never forget." Smooth said he hopes our PlayStation 5 blow up.
Oh man,
yeah, that's true. And gaming with
Why don't you want to read that, kid?
My game Persona said, "Shout out to Kid Smooth and Crew." Shout out to Persona, man.
Shout out to Persona.
Subscribe to Persona, man. He's a PlayStation guy, but he's real smart, man.
Yeah, didn't he just hit YouTube milestone?
Yeah, man. He crossed over 1,000. Yo, he crossed over 1,000 in like, I think it was like a week, man. He was like 300 subs off or something like that.
Yep. So click on that icon, the gaming with persona, sub to the channel. If you're a real PlayStation fan, none of these freaking born again ponies. Like, you know what I mean? So like
the guy that was on the weapon wheel that time. That BG had his profile all on the
he's
screen.
not a pony at all. Nah, we don't.
He's a pony.
Omega. Nah, you don't play no games.
He claimed to be a pony.
I don't care what
Pony, bro.
Look, man.
I don't care what he claims.
He try to be his uncle and shit.
That's like me claiming to be an Xbox guy, and I don't play none of the Xbox.
Nah, it's not the same. Dude said.
It's definitely not.
So
no, but going back to hold on. Going back to what Boy Jay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's about. It's not the SSD itself. It is how the systems around it, when it comes to GPU, CPU, the storage, the architecture, how everything communicates with each other. They even have a separate sound chip to make sure that there's no bottlenecks within the surrounding systems on how everything communicates with the SSD themselves. So what devs are saying is this can push game development as far as level designs and other things like that forward, and that's what they're mainly excited about. It's not that the SSD is going to make if this game is running 4K 30 on the Series X, is somehow magically going to run 4K 60 on the PS5. That's not exactly. Some people are making it out to be like that. But,
yeah, they think it's gonna give you faster frame rates or a higher resolution.
Even though the SSD or how the system works could help the stability of the frame rates because it's off. We
don't know that though.
Let me.
Xbox is doing the same thing as well. It's just that their approach to it is totally different from how Sony is.
Let me interrupt. Is this how it's implemented that makes it special? Depending on like the first party devs, that's what's gonna really make it shine. Is how they use it.
I agree.
Let me interrupt you for a second. I see on Twitter people always saying stuff like, I'm tired of talking about hardware. I want to talk about games. We got an event dedicated to games, and you guys have been talking about hardware for 30 minutes.
Oh, no, actually we haven't.
We talked about it because
I don't know what
you literally went on like
you just jumped in.
You literally went on like a rant about the SSD for at least 10 minutes. Let's not act like you ain't been talking about the SSD for 10 minutes.
No, it's because we're addressing what Smooth initially said about how people on Twitter were coming at him, bragging about the SSD and stuff like that.
People come at Kid all the time. It's Kid Smooth. Like,
but that's part of the topic of this week when it comes to like what the Ori devs and stuff like that are saying. You know what I mean? When it talks about the hardware.
So speaking
in the Series X.
Speaking of that, like, what do you guys think? A lot of people tried to flip, and he did a follow-up shit too, a follow-up update.
Yeah, I've seen the.
He had to because they twisted his words. Right. That's what these dudes do, man.
Oh man, Coke Boy, you want to present that out to us of what?
Oh yeah, so
Let's see the follow-up. Let me see this.
What's his name? His name is Thomas Mahler. He's the founder and creative director for Ori on developing Moon Studios, right? So we know that. He was talking about this super fast SSD inside the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X, right? So he said, I would be shocked if most party developers would not just develop their games for the lowest common denominator. I mean, there's literally zero chance that levels will get changed just because the PS5. Yeah, he says, I mean, there's literally zero chance that levels will get changed just because PS5 can load them faster, simply because it's way too expensive to work, expensive and work intensive to do that. Now he also says that the super fast PS5 SSD is nice for first party, but it won't make economical sense to heavily adjust your games to suit one particular platform. On PCs and Xbox, you just have to work with what's there. So there's two platforms against one. The scenario pointed out in the OP is highly unlikely. Now, people need to understand, and I've been saying this for 3 weeks, right?
To the original post to see what he was actually talking about.
First party developers and developers that have marketing deals for either console are going to leverage all the power that it has, right? Third parties and multi-plats are not going to like leverage an extra 50% increase in bandwidth from the SSD just because they want to. So that's the biggest thing. And then he also said. He also said, now, let's say the average loading time with those SSDs on next gen would be 10 seconds. And let's be generous and say that the PS5 SSD and throughput is twice as fast as Xbox Series X. At that point, you have 10 seconds of loading time versus 5 seconds. Keep in mind that loading is often more than just shuffling data around. So this way is not as accurate, but he's just giving a rough estimate, right? I don't know if I'd care that much of 5 seconds of saved every time I load into a game. So he's saying that the difference in between loading in assets isn't going to be that big of a deal between both of them. In certain scenarios, there are, but generally speaking, for most games, unless you're first party or you have a marketing deal for that specific platform, you're not really going to leverage it that much. But it is going to be a generational improvement over last gen.
So the Series X is going to hold back game designs for multiplayer.
But hold on. If this is like when it comes to this, I agree that first parties will definitely do it. Now, third party exclusive deals like that could be like should the COD, like the Call of Duty Cold War one. Like, are they really going to change design of that game? Just like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm getting to. Like they're not really gonna do that. So like it really depends on like if that game is built from the ground up with that SSD in mind, like with that deal in mind. Like let's say like it's a Japanese title or something like that that's centric to PlayStation, then those would make sense. Like to do that. And
I don't know one Japanese game that takes advantage of
I mean,
I'm just
Final
saying,
Fantasy
like,
VII
I'm just saying, like, so.
Yeah, but what design are y'all
Final Fantasy
expecting?
VII
Because we're not talking about graphics and people saying loading assets faster as if they know what the hell they talk. Like, we need to just wait and see, bro. Like, we don't even know what goal they're reaching for. Like, you know, it might just be.
Hold up, I want to go back.
Hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
What only thing I'm saying is, like, people saying load times, and you got people saying assets. Yes, developers had came out and said the design of a game. So just pay attention to that word, and because you might be looking for something that you might not get, bro.
Okay, I want to go back to like what the Ori that was saying is like he doesn't see these third party multi-platform devs working on both platforms or all three platforms when you include PC. Making two different versions where one version, right, the PS5 version might not have a long hallway or elevator, right, and then the Series X might have that. But I remember when Xbox came out and said that a lot of their first party games was going to also be designed for the OG Xbox One along with the Series X. People were saying that the game designs or the games won't be held back.
They never said that.
Hold on. And then
what he was talking about.
And one of the examples that they brought was Shadows of Mordor, where one version, right, the Xbox One version had, the Nemesis systems or whatever, and then the 360 version didn't have that. So, are y'all finally gonna admit that there is hardware, lower common denominator hardware that does hold back games?
Yes.
And y'all originally said that there wasn't.
Yes.
Like,
well, I don't know how many times you say that.
Can I respond to that?
That was the case though. Like nobody denied that jump here.
No, a lot of people did.
I did deny it. I denied it. That's why I wanted to say something, because I did deny it because I didn't understand what what's his name? Optimus Prime. I mean,
Optimus Code.
Optimus Code. My bad, dog. Yeah, that's my man now. You know what I mean? He had to straighten me up that day on the podcast. Nah, but yeah, when he explained like game design as far as designing the game, then I understood more of, okay, yeah, it would. That makes sense. It makes total sense. But see, people forgetting about that when they mention the SSD. Like, just because it is SSD, it's gonna, when they say game design, people automatically thinking the game is gonna look better. Like, that's not gonna be the case.
That's not what people.
That's why. That's why earlier I said that the SSD isn't going to directly impact your frame rates or your resolutions. It's more going to impact your design of your game, because you don't have to worry about compromising or taking out certain levels because it's going to be so massive that we can't load in everything properly, or we have to take out this level, we have to make this building smaller. Because when you're, like I said like a couple weeks ago, when you're making a game for a hard disk drive, you literally have to duplicate assets on the platter of the install file multiple times, because you can't access it so many times, because it's literally a moving part with the pin going, scratching on that drive, trying to access that data and find it. Where SSDs, you don't have to do that. You can access the same piece of information multiple times, thus reducing that install size.
Yep. So
And then
that's
you're,
why
you don't have
Okay.
to compromise the
get
time.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
as far as giving it an advantage when it comes to like more frames or more resolution, I don't think that that's going to be the case. What it probably would do as far as frames or resolution, it might help stabilize the frames because the SSD technology or the technology around it can help the CPU kind of offload some of the workload.
And that's why you have that's why you have those co-processors, because you don't have to have the CPU worrying about having to seek all that information all the time. You have those dedicated co-processors on there to alleviate that stress on the CPU and
So,
free up more room.
the SSD is a kickstand? Like, I'm not understanding. It's supposed to.
No,
It's there to
other-
help the CPU and the GPU.
It's an entire storage architecture built into the PS5, and same thing with Series X as well, right? You have your controller, you have your storage controller, and then you have other co-processors that are there to help delineate between specific tasks that are happening.
So if it's supposed to help with frames, or let's just say frames, so it's going to at some point it's going to depend on it. Like that, I don't see the like. You know, to me, it just look like a trick thing on you.
When I say it's gonna help with frames, I'm talking more about like stabilizing it rather than actually giving it a boost.
Yeah, you're giving there's less overhead from your CPU that it has to worry about, and that's why I tell people about modern day PCs right now as well. Is that yes, you can have a Gen 4 SSD inside of your system, right, and you can be fine. But one, games aren't developed around your Gen 4 SSD to utilize that speed. Your Gen 4 SSD is more tailored around professional application uses, video editing, rendering, and stuff like that. Adobe applications really leverage it, right? But gaming doesn't, because you have to think about developing your games for hard disk drives as well. Now, in terms of a PC, the PC also has so many different tasks that's happening as well, that you're putting so much of a load not only just on that one piece of hardware, but you don't have those you don't have those co-processors that can help your CPU access that information.
This hardware talk's not for me, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Like it's the hypothetical like game here that I'll put out there is shit Horizon Zero Dawn. Like when dude said that they couldn't put like the flying aspect into the game. Like so now maybe they'll actually be able to do that. And so that's the only hypothetical that I could come out with.
So my question
in terms of design,
or like what the medium dev, right? Who they're building their game on just the Series X and the PC, right? They said that there's gameplay designs that they have implemented in that game that wouldn't be able to run on the OG Xbox One, right? And so from what we seen from that trailer, we saw like another dimension, right? When she was walking in another dimension. What I think the actual game or level design is going to be with how they designed that game. Now, this is just me guessing. We don't know for sure until we actually see it. Is I think you're going to be able to go in and out of dimensions, and it'll completely change the environment that you're at a fly.
Isn't there a game that did that?
The older Zelda games, I remember.
Hold up.
Had that.
I feel like I played a game where you press a button and you go and it's a completely different.
What, Shadow War?
Oh, excuse me.
It wasn't.
No.
Unless I'm thinking of the Gianna sisters.
Oh no, dog. Only thing I can think of is that.
All right, so my question is, and then we'll get back onto the games for PlayStation 5. Then, what was the most impressive thing about the Unreal Engine 5 demo?
So the Unreal, so let me clarify the thing with Unreal, because I did a lot of research on this as well, and Unreal actually chose to demo everything that they had on PS5. Like Sony didn't reach out to them to say, hey, they didn't pay them or anything to say, hey, like, come here. No, Epic chose to demo Unreal Engine 5 on PS5, not only to show how they can take advantage of that storage architecture, but to show you other development techniques that can be introduced with next gen in general. And they further said, hey, this demo can run on Xbox, right? You're not going to be able to load in like assets as fast. Now it's not going to be so much of a big difference where it's like, oh, we're sacrificing so much. No, they're just going to make minor tweaks. But back to the greater point from what the Ori dev was saying, like making games for both consoles isn't going to be an issue. We're still going to develop a lowest common denominator. There's not going to be a huge disparity unless you're a first-party developer specifically tailoring that game to take advantage of that storage architecture.
Okay. No, the reason why I was asking about the Unreal Engine 5 demo because like people made it such a big deal because they kept pointing to SSD, but nothing on that demo said, okay, so what is the SSD doing? Because this shit looks like
At the end of that demo, when she was flying really fast out of that temple. Towards that portal, there was no texture pop-ins. When you're doing stuff like that within these current games, you can't even move that fast within the video game. And if you do,
it's just
there's
like
gonna be a lot of pop-ins.
Right, perfect example is like
that they showed was the Spider-Man one where he was like swinging through the city. That was them most likely utilizing that SSD to its full potential. Like to see how blurry that was and like going at that speed, that's what like a Flash game would look like. You get what I'm saying? Using that speed and not having anything really pop in. Like you're just going as fast as you can because Spider-Man swings pretty fast. So like, so it makes sense. Like if they actually utilize
you guys remember when I talked about PUBG? Like even PUBG on PC, like you're hopping out the plane and the entire map is still rendering around you.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like
it's that bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Putting that game and having that game developed around a more modern SSD architecture would alleviate that greatly.
So, biggest things. Okay, so what games do you plan to see tomorrow? Like, what can shock you? What
predictions?
Predictions. Yes. So, I want to know, Chris. Don't take all day. What's got you hyped? What do you think you want to see? Tell me what's going to make us want to spend $600 for a 2 terabyte PlayStation 5.
Nah. I mean, aside from the obvious like Horizon Zero Dawn, Demon Souls remake, which I'm super hyped about. I would like to see another Gravity Rush 3. I will like to see one of the original PlayStation titles, such as maybe like Siphon Filter, make a return, or maybe even like Legend of Dragoon. But I highly doubt that Sony's JRPG like that. I think it will be cool, and this will be this will be like a huge deal. If you remember back on the PS3, Sony had a deal with Rockstar to come out with an exclusive game, but it never came out, and they actually abandoned the trademark and everything. But that game, Agent, remember Agent?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm here.
So supposedly there's rumors, right? This is all just rumors. Don't believe it until it actually happens. Supposedly Rockstar is supposed to be there tomorrow, right? Some people are speculating maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 will be shown.
No.
But honestly, Rockstar moves to the beat of their own drum. When they show off their big games like a Grand Theft Auto 6 or Red Dead, they usually typically like to show it off on their own time and away from having their the attention on that game be pulled away from other games that they might have showed. But they could potentially show a game that's not as big as Grand Theft or Red Dead on the PlayStation platform as well. Oh yeah, and then there's rumors of Final Fantasy 16 potentially being teased at this show too. I would definitely like to see that as well. And probably one of the mascot games, Ratchet and Clank or Knack.
So you get Final Fantasy 16 before you get Final Fantasy 7 Part 2?
Yeah, well, there's two different teams working, Square Enix. There's two different teams working on each one. So what we can see is next year we can see Final Fantasy 16, and then the year after that we can see the sequel to Final Fantasy 7 remake. And they'll both be different.
They need to stop.
Yeah. I don't see why not. If they're different games. I don't see what the issue is.
I don't know, man. I feel like Final Fantasy comes out like every 6 months.
No, not really. All the ports do. You've seen a lot of ports. But
yeah, I've seen
well, Final Fantasy 7, that's a remake. You got to understand of the old game. The last actual mainline Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 15, which came out in 2015 or 16. I think it was 2015. So. And plus, they got the Devil May Cry, one of the Devil May Cry combat
Wait, hold up. Didn't they show off?
16.
Yeah, they did. They showed off Final Fantasy
Agni
15.
philosophy.
They
Oh,
showed
no.
off Final Fantasy 15 when they showed off PS4 when they first announced it. So you might come full circle and show off 16
Not, but they do that
tomorrow.
all the time. Square Enix. Okay, when Sony usually shows off their next generation console or the next generation games for that console, like the first time, Square Enix is usually there some type of form. You know, Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
they were there for
Final
PS4.
Fantasy 15. So so there's probably gonna be Final Fantasy 16 at this show as well.
Probably. You never know.
Okay. So you got Final Fantasy 15. You would like to see Simon Filter for one of those classic returns.
Rockstar from Agent.
Rockstar with the Agent. Forgot
And of course,
that.
all the other obvious ones: Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man 2.
You think those will all be shown? I know
No,
Horizon
not all
Zero
of them.
Dawn 2 more than likely, but
I think Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I think that's for sure being shown. I think they might tease Spider-Man 2, and then I think Sony Santa Monica might be there, but it might not be for God of War 2. I think Sony Santa Monica is actually working on another game that's going to be a new IP.
Okay.
yeah, what games have they made other than God of War?
They've helped out with like other games and like some smaller stuff, but you know they can.
Oh, speaking about Horizon Zero Dawn, for people who plan on building new rigs, you can get Horizon Zero Dawn for free on PC with select AMD CPUs. It's the Ryzen 5 3600, 3600X.
Yo, we don't promote that over here, Jay. Don't promote
7,
that over
the
here.
Ryzen 7 3700X. So pretty much anything from Ryzen 5 up to Ryzen 9, you get a free copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. So if you are looking to build a new rig, you can get Horizon Zero Dawn for free on PC by buying an AMD CPU.
Nah, he's just kidding, guys. You got to pay $100 per copy.
No, you free copy.
When does
Free
Horizon
with,
Zero Dawn come out for
nah,
PC?
I don't know
They
when
haven't
it comes
said
out.
yet.
Yeah, they
I
haven't
think
said
they're
it, but
just
they
gonna
give you the key. They'll give you like the key for it.
I think
It's funny because I just bought my Ryzen 9 3900X.
I think they're gonna stealth drop it. Some people are thinking that they're gonna announce that their games, some of their games that are going to PC tomorrow. But
No, that's retarded.
That'd be weird to do at a PlayStation 5 show.
yeah, that would be super weird. I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't know. To me, that would be super weird, and I would be like, what the hell?
Shit, they getting their money regardless. So
Did
I
we-
mean, it don't really matter.
So, I mean, what about you, Nick Banks? What you think Sony gonna be showing?
I know COD gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know, I know COD gonna be there. I heard somebody said SOCOM. I really hope that's gonna be there. To be honest with you. But will they? Who has the 2K the NBA 2K?
Xbox had it the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
it goes
sure?
back and forth. It goes
Yeah.
back and forth.
I'm
It's in
thinking
Game
NBA
Pass, bro.
2K might be there.
Then they have the
They
bundle.
do. Yeah, they do for showing of some basketball. So I don't. Other than that, man, I really don't know, man. Other than that, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, of course. Spider-Man 2, of course. You know, I think they'd be there for sure. You know, what I
Your
mean?
boy.
So other than that, man, I don't think it's gonna be no Silent Hill there, man.
Well,
I think that rumor is true. I think that's a true rumor.
Silent Hill.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
And Resident Evil 8. I think both of them. might
Oh
show
yeah,
up.
Resident Evil. Yeah, I think that's gonna be there too. Damn. Okay, I really want to play that one. I'm not a big fan of the 2 and 3s and all that. I might go ahead and try 3, but I don't know.
You guys hear the rumor that Batman might be an exclusive?
Yeah, I don't believe it.
That's
I don't believe
crazy.
that.
If they did
Yeah,
that, I would like really probably smack somebody. It's like, all right, it's one thing to have Spider-Man, but then you're gonna make Batman. I'm like that would really kind of make me really upset.
Well, the rumor is it's supposed to be 6 months time for the PS4 and the PS5.
6 months, my ass.
Why would they lose that much money?
If that's the case, I'm like, all right, 6 months, all right. I hope that they don't fucking. I hope that the PlayStation 5 will be on like a selling freeze for fucking 6 months.
Smooth gonna smack somebody for 6 months.
Like
I don't believe
that's
that
crazy.
rumor.
Yeah. I'm sick and tired of these devs doing
Believe that.
stupid ass deals like that. Let me cater to these motherfuckers and sign the long term exclusivity. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, not happening.
Well, since
If
we have Addict here, we should
What-
ask him what he thinks is going to be at which games.
Yeah, he just dropped a video
Yeah.
today on his PlayStation prediction, but at the entry of the video, he said it was some ridiculous claims. So, Addict, do you want to give us a summary of what you might expect at the PlayStation 5 event tomorrow?
I didn't say it was a ridiculous claim. I just said I had to spin on what I think. I think that Batman thing's true.
You think that bullshit?
I don't think so.
For real? Hey, that'd be crazy, bro. That'd be crazy.
Oh, why would they?
What else do you think is going to be there?
If I was Marvel, I'd be like, you know what? I'm taking away my Spider licenses if you do any deals with DC. No. If you do any deals with DC IPs, you can't have this Spider. You can't have this IP. Nah, man, they can't do that shit. Like,
I don't think they'll be that petty.
I would be that petty. That's why.
Remember, Sony owns Spider-Man. They own the IP for Spider-Man.
Yeah, they don't.
No, they don't own
gonna-
it. They don't own it. They have the rights to
license.
it.
They have
They
the
don't
rights,
own it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if
Theoretically,
they
it's
owned it,
Marvel.
they wouldn't have to do anything. But they don't own it. Like as long as they keep doing what they're doing, they'll be able to.
Because they make the Spider-Man movies. That's the thing. Like they always had
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
The
They
thing
own
That
it.
Batman deal worked though. Like
is
WB.
they own the rights to the movies. They made a deal with
Well,
with
character,
Marvel to make the game.
The character of Spider-Man.
They own the right to the movie. They don't own the right to the game.
Hey, hold on. Breaking news. Blanju in a comment just said that Crash Bandicoot merch just leaked.
Yeah.
So we might be seeing that tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've been predicting that for a while. Remember my infamous tweet, PlayStation 5 to be real with Crash Bandicoot? Remember that shit? I got it wrong. My date was wrong, but it was the Unreal Engine 5 that ended up showing. But Addict, no, you said other than you, I can't believe Batman. But what else you think?
I think we'll see Call of Duty there.
Hold up, Attic. I want to know what you think about like how would that deal work? Do WB own like the rights to Batman and they
It
go
would
rent
just
it?
be like Tomb Raider. It would just be like Tomb Raider. They like see the thing is
That's true.
people. That's the reason that they was able to get these Tomb Raider deals and shit at the beginning of this gen is because Microsoft came in from last gen with so much publicity. Like, but that's why you saw those third party deals start to like dwindle after an amount of time because the sales just wasn't there to validate keeping that off of a platform. But now you're going into. I have a feeling because I don't think Sony is going to have a whole lot for like the first year and a half. And I think they're going to use these third parties to cloud it up until that happens. Like they're doing exactly what Microsoft should have done. So you know.
Yeah.
Well, that sound more believable.
Somebody brought up Street Fighter 6. I think that's a high possibility.
I heard
Well,
Rob
Yeah.
saying that.
I don't think
I
that's
think
gonna be.
I think that's going to be a timed exclusive if it does.
I think I just want to see a lot of new
It's gonna be-
IPs. Like I know we're gonna have the sequels coming out for a lot of the like the bangers, but I do want to see a lot of new IPs. I also want to see Death Stranding 2. I want
What?
to see that game. Yeah, I want to see that. I want
Fire.
to see.
Well, you're not
I want
gonna
to
see
see
that.
Days Gone 2 and Knack 3. I need to see those three games.
Fire.
Okay, Days Gone
Jay
too.
knows
I can
what's
fuck
up.
with
Days
you
Gone
with,
2, Death Stranding 2, and Knack 3 all confirmed tomorrow.
All five.
Bangers.
He said all confirmed.
All confirmed. I have sources.
Hey, don't put Knack in the middle of that shit, man.
Nah,
nah, but
sources, Foxy Games.
They got.
I don't
they
think
got some
Street
more.
Fighter gonna be exclusive, and if it is, I think like he said, it's gonna be time. Yeah, that was a lot of like the last launch of the Street Fighter 5 was really bad, man. Like you know what I mean?
Okay.
It was
so
so
the thing
bad. It was so bad though. They had to use the 360 version for the tournaments. Like it was a really bad launch. I don't
Yeah,
think they
no,
want to
Street
go
Fighter-
through that shit no more.
Well, no, that's because Capcom. That was more Capcom's fault on how they launched that game. You know what I mean? They fucked that one up. But going back to the Batman, right? So with the rumors, right, it being exclusive. If it's not a time exclusive, what I can actually see it being is maybe like some type of like mission or like a different character
An
that you can
SSD
play, like
exclusive.
extra missions, exclusive. You know what I mean? Like a Robin time DLC exclusive for like a year or something like that. That's what it could possibly be.
Batman and Robin.
No, but they do that sometimes where they'll have like content that's exclusive to the PlayStation for a certain amount of time, even if it's not the entire game. So I mean that would make sense too. Like I just haven't heard anything with the Batman being exclusive any news. So okay.
It just came out today, like a couple hours
Oh,
ago.
okay.
That's
All
when
right.
the
All
leak
right.
started happening. Yeah.
No, but I was gone like all day, like mentally, like I was fried.
Damn.
Attic, what do you
What?
see from first party?
Horizon, Gran Turismo, and Ratchet and Clank.
All right.
Nice,
True.
nice, nice.
Okay. Okay.
I don't see
Yeah.
anything else besides that.
Mm.
And
I'd be very surprised if there was something else besides that. But they supposedly have like a hidden studio that they've been working on something, so maybe that will be something. I
The
don't know.
Initiative Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The Initiative Part 2.
The initiative part two.
I was just saying that's their hidden studio. The Initiative.
Yeah.
Nah, but I think Guerrilla
Shit.
Games is also going to show a new IP, and it's going to be a multiplayer competitive shooter game.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
That's
been
what I think they
rumored.
need, man. Just like that solid ass like multiplayer game that everybody can just hop on PlayStation.
you think they need to break the mold of that over the shoulder? Be Hollywood.
Oh man.
Shut up, Smooth. Stop hating.
Koi, man, what do you think you're gonna see tomorrow?
Oh man, like I mean, what I think or want to see tomorrow, Silent Hill. If that's there, if the rumors around that Silent Hill IP being done, like a reboot of it or something like that, I would love to see that. I would love to see something involving SOCOM for sure. Like, and if Guerrilla Games does do like another IP outside of Horizon, I would like to see Killzone, but draw it back, like maybe take it away from that shiny,
I think the
weird,
odds of you seeing
futuristic.
Killzone.
Yeah, like I want to see like the old gritty Killzone, where it was like all saturated and really like dark and fucked up. Like that's what I really loved Killzone personally. Um, the potential of RE8 being there, like, is really interesting. Yeah, exactly. Ravenflow, Killzone 2, fire. But it's like the potential of RE8 being there and that being seen. I mean, even if it's just like a trailer or just showing kind of like the whatever. Like, I'm interested in seeing that for sure. Like those, I'm a big horror fan of recent. Because I used to not play a lot of hard games back in the 360, but the Xbox One and PS4, like I've been fucking with them a lot. So yeah, that's about it. Like I mean, like Batman and stuff like that. That's a big if in there. First party wise, like I don't know outside of Horizon Zero Dawn. Like the sequel to that. Outside of that, I have no idea of what first party there could be besides the ones that Addict threw out there that are more highly potential they could be there. So
I think obviously Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I think I think Crash and Gran Turismo would be launch titles. Crash remaster, or not Crash remaster, but a new Crash game. I think that's what they're gonna pretty much throw out there. I do think we'll see, some B tier games, some mid tier games, some third party action. I think some of these exclusives, you guys think like I don't know if it will be Batman. Maybe Harry Potter gets shown off because that game still hasn't been shown off. I think it gets shown off maybe at the PlayStation 5 reveal. I think they have room to like reveal a game that's not coming out like for quite a while. They definitely have room for that. I don't think we're gonna see like God of War 2018 or I think Spider-Man has enough to be teased, but I don't think God of War will be there at all. But Horizon Zero Dawn 2 definitely with gameplay. Crash, Gran Turismo, either 7 or GT Sport 2, whichever game they're doing. Call of Duty to get a snip teaser. Maybe FIFA. I think, and then I think like there's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe they'll have a sequel to Flower.
So,
Oh,
Resogun 2. I don't know, like
oh no. See, I'll take Flower over there, but
I don't know, man.
There's gonna be some indies for sure. There's definitely
oh
gonna be
yeah,
some
for
indies
sure.
in there.
But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Do you guys think that the box will be revealed and or pricing will be revealed?
I think the console might be revealed. Pricing is to be determined because they did say in their blog post that they're gonna have further events showing off more information about the console. I do want to see the UI. That's the one thing I really do want to see is the improvements in the UI over PS4 because there's been some news about the UI and some of the things that they intend on doing with it. So I'm excited to see that. I like software. Um, and then I actually want to see them talk more about PlayStation Now as well. I actually like PlayStation Now a lot now. Like I've been streaming on that, and
Yeah.
it's a really good service. Ever since they moved to
Mhm.
Azure, and they have Azure hosting a lot of the games that you can play on it, like it's been amazing.
Facts.
And the one thing I think here, all right, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but here's how they can kill Project xCloud in its fucking grave right now, and it's by bringing PlayStation Now to iOS and Android. If I had the ability to use PlayStation Now on my iPad, it would be amazing.
Can't you? Isn't there like a stream
No,
option?
it's not
play?
available. It's not available on
It's only
iOS or
available
Android
on
yet.
PC.
PC, yeah, it's only available on
Okay.
PC. Now, the reason I say that's because I have a cellular iPad, so I can take my iPad and still have internet connection wherever I go.
Yeah, yeah.
And having that big 11-inch screen and being able to play PS4 games and PS5 games on that on the go would be great, especially with 5G coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. I have a tablet that is where I have internet. You know, it's not relied on like Wi-Fi, and that's what I use XCloud on. Until I still didn't get approved for XCloud for iOS yet, which is strange.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't gotten it yet. And I want to
so
try
I
it
can
out.
buy the clip. That's why the only reason why I ain't buy the clip for my controller
Yeah, me
yet.
neither.
Is
I ain't get
xCloud on PC yet?
I think it's on everything, isn't it?
It's on PC.
Nah.
Yes.
No, it's
Actually,
not.
no. It's on Android. It's on Android.
I'm about to say I tried
Yeah,
to
and I
find it.
I
on
don't
this.
have an Android device, so I didn't sign up for Android.
Yeah,
use
because
iPhone.
they've been cutting more deals with with Samsung and stuff like that, like with the TVs and their phones,
Yeah.
which because I think they just made a deal with that you can get. I think it was Game Pass Ultimate included with your Samsung TV or some shit like that.
Yeah, you can get something like that. Which I think they're gonna put xCloud on the smart TVs pretty soon, or at least test it. But I'm saying like
Yeah.
Sony can do the same thing, but they can do it much more earlier than them. Because they have an entire library of games you can play on PlayStation Now already. So like putting that on like
PlayStation
iOS.
Now had an aggressive
And they have a
launch
TV line.
because they did launch on TVs as well, but they took them off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they took them off. Yeah, what I'm saying is they can put them back on. They can put it back on their TV. They don't have on the Sony TVs,
Yeah, the Sony TVs. Yeah.
which are making a huge comeback right now.
Yeah, those TVs are excellent.
Yeah, I still have
Yeah, they alright. They alright. Some of the input lag on them joints.
Yeah, it does have an input lag issue for sure.
I'm still trying to contemplate what do I do for
milliseconds. I mean,
the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Do I upgrade my monitors or do I finally get the C9 with that the TV?
C9s are at great prices right now. That's the thing.
Like what do you consider a great price?
So C9s usually retailed for 2,700, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the price of the C10 currently. C9s you can get for close to $2,000
Damn.
for an OLED with all the features that it has. It's amazing. Like that's Black Friday prices for a C9 right there that you're getting. But it depends on what size you get. Like I'm talking about 65. The 65 inches, $2,000.
All right.
Like the 55 is gonna be less than that.
All right, cool. I'm good with a 55. I don't need it that big. I'm just contemplating what do I go with, but because I definitely want to upgrade my display for these consoles.
Yeah, I'm doing the same as well.
But I just haven't decided if I want to stick with monitors or go with the new
right. I want to get me a 37-inch monitor or something. 27 inches.
So
yeah, I think I'm gonna do 27 for my Xbox.
not to be completely blown out in the dust, Xbox dropped some more info in regards to Xbox Series X. There was a Dirt 5 interview where the dev was dropping like some gems, but he reassured the 120 frames per second mode in Dirt 5 and that they expect to be there for launch, and they talked about what it's like developing for the Series X, and he called their CPU a beast. And then the blog post for Xbox Series X, it was just more so just a roundup. They confirmed that Hellblade 2 will be moved to Unreal Engine 5, which is strange. I thought that was only on PS5. But
who said it was only on PS5?
hey, the way that But and then they talked about, they reassured it being the most powerful console with no compromise whatsoever.
Damn.
It's they kind of just was just poking their chests out in the blog post. Nothing super new, but it was just good information for those who needed a recap and needed to be reminded. It was just like kind of a summary of all the announcements like since December. But it was just more so just to not keep quiet, because obviously PlayStation was trending. They dropped the emoji and people were masturbating to it.
Oh man,
That emoji's fire though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, his niggas hype anything, dog. Yeah, one dude said he was on there and he tweeted, "Damn, what's the name? Got an emoji." But I seen the same dude was clowning Xbox dudes for putting Scorpios in there.
Yeah, remember that?
Hey, we know there's hypocrites on both sides. Hey, but this one guy, he's telling me that, and I seen this earlier too, that supposedly the writer of Dead Space is supposedly teasing something about a game tomorrow. So it may be a game that he's been working on that may be showing up tomorrow.
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be another Dead Space.
Yeah, I don't think it.
Well, shout out to the 210 people watching, bro.
It might be Resident Evil. It might be Resident Evil game he's working on.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Resident Evil.
He said that it was a while ago, like he did a little interview or something like that. He said that he would love to go back to Dead Space, but I think he's with his like a studio that he made now, or like he's with another studio, like he joined another studio.
Yeah,
and EA owned that. So
I forgot another game to mention. I definitely.
You said what?
I want to see another Order game, like another Order 18.
Ready at Dawn is supposed to be. Yeah, they've been talking shit recently.
They gonna be there?
They've been talking grease.
I think so. I think they're
Ready at Dawn, man. Yeah,
really? You mess with them? They only made one good game, bro.
Oh, I mean, I like that game. That game was
the God of War games they made were pretty fire too.
Yeah, it's the potential of the.
Yeah, you can make one game, and I could, you know what I mean.
I've actually been playing Ghost of Sparta on PlayStation now.
Yeah,
remember Ready at Dawn, the developer stood up and said, "Look, you motherfuckers better rescore this goddamn game." You know what I mean? What's wrong with y'all? I like
put some respect on my name.
You know what I mean? Fuck that.
Because I think what they made a game after the Order. I wasn't really messing with like that, bro.
It was a multiplayer.
Like shit, a VR game.
It was
was it the Headlanders or some shit like that, or a game like that or some shit? It was some bullshit.
Highlanders.
The Cuddlers. It was a bunch of fucking soft balls jumping on the platform.
Yeah. It was like some other shit. I'm like, yeah, you don't do that. Like, and then so other than that, there's obviously some other news out there regarding obviously to the PlayStation. The whole Bloodborne rumor, like, everybody has been hyping Blue Point because they've been working on the PlayStation, the next generation PlayStation game. A lot of people had this game pegged as Demon Souls, but rumor has it that it's a Bloodborne. But like,
nah, it's Demon Souls.
Why do you stand by that?
Colin Moriarty pretty much says it's Demon Souls, and also the whole thing with like the Bloodborne is the whole thing. It's rumored to become Bloodborne's rumored to come on PC, which I can believe that. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all. And also, there's rumor that's supposed to be a remastered version on the PlayStation 5. But honestly, I think that it's not going to be like a like a sole separately remastered version. I think what they're just talking about is a PlayStation 5 patch for Bloodborne on the PS5 and stuff like that. So I think that's what it is.
Sony would profit more if they just do that, right? You know what I mean? You think they might sell a patch or a free patch? Which one?
I don't think they're gonna sell the patch. I don't think they're gonna be the ones that come out and say, "Hey, you gotta pay." That'd be bullshit if they do. I don't think they will. You know what I mean? Plus, we got a confirmation today, like Destiny 2, right? Destiny 2 is gonna be coming to the Series X and the PS5 with the free 4K 60 upgrade.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to jump back into Destiny 2 after that. I'm gonna
try,
man.
Yeah, that looks fire.
This new season's been pretty good. Pretty
I'm
good.
Gonna try it
I've been
out,
playing.
man.
It's been better than last season. Last season was boring, but the new expansion coming out is going to be really good. Getting darkness powers now. 4K 60 on next gen. I'm actually going to play it on console now because all I do is play it on PC. So
Somebody said in the chat that Jason Schreier also. So I really think it's just a Demon Souls remake that Blueprint is working on.
I gotta give a shout out to the Blue One for becoming a member. Welcome to Best Buy Live Silver. The Blue One, the blue one. But thank you for becoming a member, man. Use those emojis. Use those kids move emojis in there. Show them what you get. But yeah, honestly, I know a lot of people want to see the Demon Souls. I could care less. I'd play through a Bloodborne though again, because that Bloodborne could use an upgrade with them shitty frames, shitty textures, and
yeah. Well, the interesting about Bloodborne, right? Is like sometimes it would drop frames, but a lot of times it did run at somewhat of a stable 30 frames per second. But the thing about that game is it had terrible frame pacing. And so when a game has terrible frame pacing, like Bloodborne or like Final Fantasy 15 when that first launched, it makes it seem like the frame rates are running at like 15 frames per second, stuff like that sometimes. So that's something that definitely needs to be addressed in this new in the new port or the new patch that they come out with.
Yeah. So but yeah, I would definitely play it and curious to see what it could look like on like PlayStation 5 hardware. So I feel like that game has a lot of untapped potential that could definitely be exposed if running on a proper hardware. The next thing is that, so how after the whole Last of Us information, we were talking about how we're gonna play it on, whether it be Survivor or Grounded or regular. So apparently the game has been casualized and people are unsure how they feel. Because I thought I was just gonna try to play the game on Survivor, but there's no trophies, I guess, for difficulty, is what they're saying.
Yeah, which I think I'm not feeling that, because all of Naughty Dog's games, they've all had trophies for their difficulty settings ever since trophies were available. Like all the Uncharted, like ever since trophies became a thing on PlayStation, every Naughty Dog game after that, all the Uncharted, all of the and the Last of Us or whatever, they've all had difficult related trophies, right? That's not gonna take away from the game or anything like that. I just kind of find it odd and weird why they'll take it out now, but they're talking about accessibility. As far as the game settings, I think there's over 60 different options or settings that you can tweak the game, which is freaking insane for a console game. Like, I've never seen a console game has so much settings like that, especially when it comes
to PC.
Especially when it comes to the difficult settings. But if you're playing it on higher difficulties, like if you're playing it on Grounded or even hard, the game was probably the game is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be casualized or anything like that. But the reason why they're doing this is they wanted this game to have settings that are so accessible to people that have disabilities.
Whoa,
The people
whoa.
who are colorblind. Yeah, that's what they said.
I got a
That's what
question
they
for
said.
you. Can I ask you a
Hold on,
question?
hold on.
It's about that.
The
Okay.
people who are colorblind and have other disabilities, or the people who drink Folgers in the mornings to beat sections that they've been stuck at for like 3 hours and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
you know.
so you can play that game with an Xbox adaptive controller, pretty much.
I
Right?
got a question for
Well,
him
like
though.
difficulty settings aren't tied to accessibility options though. Like there have been handicapped folks that have beat, like let's say like Bloodborne or something like that, or like folks who have
That's true.
dismemberment issues and stuff like that. So it's just like
That's
accessibility and like difficulty sliders aren't exclusive to each other. Like they're not.
no.
Yeah, like.
Listen, but somebody had contacted Naughty Dog. I think it was
Hmm.
like right after Uncharted 4 or something like that. That had a
Yeah.
disability that they say they couldn't complete the game because of some of the things that they couldn't just do. They couldn't physically do. There are people who are like, I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Broly Legs, but
Yeah, no, I'm hip.
he's a Street Fighter player, and he uses his face and he kicks
Hmm.
everybody's ass. Right?
That's
He's
crazy.
disabled and he uses his face. He uses his mouth to move the controller and
Yeah.
all that shit. Right? So there are those people with disabilities that will overcome their disabilities and still do great. But then there's also people with disabilities who just really can't do that. You know what I mean? That needs some type of settings to be
Yeah.
toned down and
See, but
stuff
what
like
I'm
that. You know
saying
what I mean?
Why would you
is
take
like
out trophies though for that?
no, yeah,
I don't
that's what I'm
understand.
saying.
That's the
That's
part
what I'm
that's super
saying.
weird. I don't
That's
agree with that. I don't agree with
yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That isn't tied to the accessibility. Accessibility is like for those folks like who have colorblind and all of that stuff like that, and who have like dismembered limbs and stuff like that, disfigured ligaments and stuff like that. But it's just like when it comes to like the difficulty in slider, like those folks that have used the adaptive controller and who have built personal controllers themselves have been able to perform very well in games in which like able-bodied folks kind of suffer in, including myself when it comes to Souls like games. But uh the taking out of certain trophies, maybe they're just trying to kind of keep the harassment down of folks who may have not beaten a game on certain difficulty. Like you know how folks check your
This
trophies to
bullshit.
see shit
Yeah.
if you're like a valid gamer or some bullshit like that. Like you got to beat the game shit on the most hardest difficulty to be considered you beat the fucking game. So it's just like that's probably what Neil Druckmann kind of implemented. He was just like, yeah, we need to maybe cut this shit out so like people ain't trophy watching or something. Yeah, they could do them
Nah,
privately, but
nah, nah.
That still that still is not
I
an
still got
excuse
a
for me.
question. I just want a
I mean,
question,
you may
man.
not like the excuse, but I mean, like that's just
God damn.
the thing that I came up with, like just spitballing. But okay, my bad.
All right, look, man. Let's get to the point. Like, okay, why did this happen? Okay, if you go on your friend list, right, and you see how many people got the platinum for Grounded, what is the percentage of people on your friend list? Smooth or because I don't have it, but I'm pretty sure Smooth and Chris got it. What was the percentage?
I mean, the platinum for pretty much almost all games are at a low percentage. So I
What
don't.
was the what
For the
was
percentage
what's
of
the
people who have
okay?
platinum,
So,
I don't look.
oh, okay. Because I know
But
that's
I'm
why a
pretty sure it's a
lot
very,
of
very,
people.
very small
Right.
amount.
Is it
Some person
smaller
say
compared
zero
to
point
any other
six.
games? Right.
Somebody said 0.6. That's for the platinum, though. You know what I mean? That's like,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Right.
I don't understand some people who are defending this, saying that, well, this is good because I don't want to have to like be forced to play the game again at a higher difficulty to get that trophy. And it's like, bro, that's like, don't play the game. Don't play the game at a higher difficulty. You're not
Yeah, that's
forced to. It's always
bullshit.
an option. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Well,
Like,
it's not.
you don't have to play these games like that
Yeah,
though.
it's
Like
not game
nobody's
breaking.
forcing you to. Yeah.
It's not game breaking, but you know what? I can understand why some people can be upset about it, but it ain't that bad though. I agree with you.
it's not
Because
that
I
big of a
mean,
deal.
The
I
thing
just don't
is,
understand why they took it out.
too many options could also be a bad thing. I don't foresee myself twiddling through freaking settings to try to custom make how the game's gonna play. I'm just gonna play at default at that point. Like, what is
Yeah, which is
like
played at
they?
default.
Yeah, it's like,
The options to tweak the options is an option, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. A lot of times
That shit sound crazy.
you would say, well, what's wrong with options? What's wrong with
No, ain't
backwards
nothing wrong with it.
compatibility as an option? This as an option, but then when PlayStation has a bunch of options, right? One of their games has a bunch of options. It's like, well, I don't think that many options is a good thing. I don't understand that.
But like accessibility isn't tweaking options though. Like those are two separate things. Like if you're in the options and you say, all right, I don't want the enemy to be able to track me or like track my scent with the dogs or some shit like that. Like those are like option tweaking the to the game where it changes up the gameplay to fit how you want to play. Like accessibility
Yeah,
is like changing the font and like making the font bigger and shit like I do. So like so I could see better the font when it's like super small. Like those are like accessibility things.
I think this is just Naughty Dog trying to please everyone, and you know what I mean. This is one of
Yeah.
those. They're just trying to please everyone, and they're trying to think of everyone. You know what I mean? Those people who are blind, those people who don't have
Yeah.
hands, or something like that. You know what I mean?
You
And
could still put that stuff in there and still keep the grounded trophy in there. Put the
Oh
grounded
yeah,
trophy in the game.
They should have
Yeah.
kept the trophies.
Just
Like
put,
I'm not
keep the
arguing
trophy.
but I'm
At the
I
end of
agree.
the day, I'm still gonna buy the game day one. I'm still gonna play
Yeah,
that
of course.
shit. So
I'm still gonna play that bitch on
like,
ground.
Last of Us 2,
Survivor.
hey, we gonna talk about it when we beat it. We're gonna give our first impressions. We're gonna talk about when we beat it. That's gonna be that. You know, all they gotta do, put that trophy back in there. That's it. Just put the trophy.
Maybe
in
the
there.
guy that does like the difficulty in trophies was the dude that almost got hit in the head with a center block and probably quit. I don't know.
Probably, man. You never know.
Like they shouldn't
Or they
have
just trying to
taken the
pander.
trophy out, bruh. But it's just like to cover all bases is just like with the Outer Worlds. It was just like where they went in and they kept having patches and updates to add accessibility, like so that more people could play. So like more people are able to experience the game. Like
Yeah.
that's fine. Like if you're adding in things in there for people who are colorblind or who are hearing impaired or whatever the case may be, like that's fine. But like I was saying, like they shouldn't have took out the trophy though. But I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't agree with them taking out the trophies. But I think what they're gonna do is they're just because they've been doing that a lot lately with some of their games. Naughty Dog, they're probably just gonna put a higher difficult. They're probably gonna put grounded in as like like a patch like after a month or whatever, and that one's gonna have its own separate
Yeah.
trophies. You know,
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
but I still think the game is gonna be fire. Matter of
yeah.
fact, the reviews come out the next day after tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah, and they left off the NDA.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
so
can't wait.
review. You guys want to give your scores?
Oh man.
I think it's gonna be like a 93. A
93?
Metacritic.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow, that's it? A 90?
a 93.
Oh, okay. They must have cut out.
He says
Oh,
93. I'm gonna go with a 91.
I'm gonna go with a 96.
96.
Yep.
Yeah,
What does Zelda rate? 97.
97. But the previews have been like a lot. I've seen a lot of previews who are playing the game right now, and it's nothing but extremely positive things.
Yeah,
So,
they loving it, man. Like you can't knock
yeah,
it. I don't think they're gonna.
I'm going low, like 93. Like I'm
I'm not going.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you why you going low though, because I don't see no down like anything. But yeah, just tell me. I want to know. I'm curious.
Because there's usually those websites that will like give it like a 4 out of 10 or some shit like that. You know what I
So
mean? Like
You
just
think
for
it's more
clout.
crucial nowadays? Like
Sometimes, but we see it all the time. We see it all the
Yeah.
time.
I
don't
think they're
know,
gonna
man.
in this chance they could probably hit a
Look.
95, 96. They're gonna get a lot of pity scores.
93.
They
That's-
think they're
Yeah,
gonna
so I
get
say, like, because right now,
I don't see it scoring higher than the
right
first
now,
game.
The Last of Us 1 is sitting at like a 95, 96 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I honestly
Yeah.
feel that like it's not going to surpass that for me personally. So like I feel like it'll be 93, 92 for me. Like,
Yeah,
Man, shit looking,
I think,
shit looking real
I think.
good.
Okay, to me, I think story wise. I mean, I don't know. I think story wise, it's probably not going to be better than the first one, but gameplay
Wow,
wise, it's going to be a lot
oh
better than
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
of
one.
course, gameplay wise.
wow.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Like, I'm just saying, for me personally, the impact that one had on me, like, I don't feel like, because I felt that two, the like a sequel wasn't needed, and you also heard that Druckmann was like he didn't know shit if he was gonna do a part three or some shit, and it's just like
I
I
wouldn't
don't
have
know, like I
known.
just feel like it doesn't, it's a type of story that doesn't that didn't need it. You get what I'm saying? Like how it ended on that cliffhanger was very great. It was like it lets your mind kind of like explore that, and I feel like they're gonna confront that. How one ended, they're gonna confront that with Ellie and Joel and some type of thing in there. So
Do you guys think with the review, the Metascore comes out what Friday, the PlayStation 5 reveals Thursday? Do you think The Last of Us Part 2 gets mentioned or shown or anything indication at this PlayStation 5 show?
I
Not
think
really.
so. I think. Okay. So one of the things I also think Sony's going to touch on, I think they're going to briefly touch on the backwards compatibility capabilities of the PlayStation 5. I think they're going to briefly touch upon it, and they're probably going to have some games mentioned that is going to take advantage of the PS5 hardware as far as it being upgraded. And The Last of Us 2 is probably going to be one of those. Definitely going to be one of those games that are mentioned on that. So I think it might be
like I hope
that.
they do touch on that. Yeah, I do.
I would like to see it to get some sort of confirmation. I think Sony needs to assure people that their purchases are safe and good to go. Because the game's like, it's one thing because at the end of the PS3 generation, that was tough, to go in, with that game and then go into the PS4 and not really have access to that. So with a game like The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, and then 4 or 5 months later, you got the PlayStation 5. Those games are still fresh. So why
No, those
not?
games are definitely going to come to the PlayStation 5.
Give those like new life and try to demonstrate. Hey, look what the PS5 can do to these games that were coded to the PS4. So I hope they show it, and if they don't show it today, I expect them to at least show it in August.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they said they still got like, this isn't going to be like the only thing that, there's going to be more rollouts and more, they're probably going to have like, because there's probably going to be blogs throughout the week, right, for the next week or something like that, that probably goes more into some of the features of like the hardware, the OS, or even the backwards compatibility that they briefly touched upon in this event.
No, for real. I think that would be good, but the thing is, they can't have these slow rollouts. I'm sorry, it's June, bro. It's June. It is June, and
It's due, and we're about to see it, baby.
Yeah,
Your wait is over.
Want to see this
The wait
damn
is over.
console, these games, this
Like
release date, pricing. I'm ready for it. Damn, I was about to say something. I completely freaking forgot about it. But
You're gonna see all these things. Then guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to wait, even after you see all these things.
Well, at least,
So
I got something. I got something tangible.
Yeah,
to refer
that's
to.
true.
That's the
I feel
difference.
you.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been waiting to see this shit forever now.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, that's pretty much it. What we had to shoot on. Any questions from the chat? Make sure
People are saying. People are like,
Oh,
this playing
I guess
PlayStation?
the only thing that we can really say is about the Nintendo security issue. There's another 140,000 accounts that's been accessed.
I'm probably on that list this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about that,
So
Benju? Huh? Is my account not secure?
in April it was 160,000 that was accessed. Now it's an additional 140,000. So that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Damn.
One of my criticisms of Nintendo is their lack of security. because they never enforce password complexity or multi-factor authentication at all. It's like this, something like this is bound to happen.
And they charging us online for that, Bland you? Huh? Better take your credit cards off of that.
Yeah, I don't got anything attached to my Switch.
Yeah, I don't have nothing too major. Plus, I have
Nah,
a
hell no.
pretty decent password on there, so I highly doubt my account was accessed. But there's definitely going to be litigation pursued against Nintendo pretty soon.
Yeah, didn't Sony just get sued?
Sony got sued. Sony issued multiple fines throughout the years because of everything that's been happening with their
No, they got
their
sued in
security infrastructure.
Australia for like 3.5 million.
Yeah. You remember back in
some shit that they
2011?
lied
Remember when
about. I don't
PS3
remember.
was down for a month? They paid a lot of fines for that as well during that time.
Give a shout out to I just missed his chat. Oh, all right, JJ. He says I heard Naughty Dog dev joined Obsidian or another Xbox studio. Yeah,
Oh, that's been happening.
Somebody, one of the lead audio techs joined Obsidian from
man.
Naughty Dog.
That's bad news for y'all, right? Y'all don't like those failed producer, type of people working on your shit.
Bruh.
That's what y'all say.
Hey, yo, you see that audio team for 343 though? They look hot, boy. They out there in the field.
I've been seeing a lot.
Field
I've been
out.
seeing some concept art for Halo 5 and some of the artists that's hopping on that team. It's pretty, not Halo 5, Halo Infinite. It's pretty insane what they've been doing.
They need to start talking.
They've
I'm sick of
been
this.
saying little stuff. They act like they want to say something, but you know,
yeah, they're itching to
they
say
gotta
something
hold
like
out.
Infinite.
Yeah, they keep tweeting out stuff like, "Yo, we working hard over here."
Yeah.
They probably ready to say we gonna delay it. Who knows what they got?
They said they got the art director from the Valerian movie, and Valerian was a beautiful movie in the setting that it's set. So,
Oh, that's what's up.
based on the concept arts I've been seeing, the Halo 5 or Halo Infinite, it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, they said that Sony got sued in Australia for a refund policy or some shit like that. Which I hope, man. That's one thing Sony definitely needs to freaking address, and is their refund policy is trash. It's gotten better, but it's not where it needs to be, man.
At least on Nintendo, it was no refunds at all.
Yeah, but still, it's still not as where it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like freaking EA Origin have it better, and there's EA. They have a better policy, so Sony definitely needs to be more, be more mindful to the consumers when it comes to like the services, games they buy, and refunds and stuff like that.
Oh, another thing, man. There was a couple of games like this Doom clone that they showed on IGN earlier.
Yeah,
right?
I seen that.
Speaking of, did they show a second extension yet? The game that was first shown?
Yes, they showed
Yes.
gameplay for it.
All right,
You can sign up for beta as well.
All right,
I'll send you guys a link for that.
Please, I need to check that out. I missed that.
Oh, and I think they show, and I need to watch this. They show gameplay for that game called Mortal Shell.
Yeah, Mortal Shell.
Oh, yeah,
BG was,
Mortal Shell.
Yeah,
Talking
which is
about
like
that
a
shit
Dark
was nice.
Souls. It's like a Souls type of game, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah, they showed more Yakuza stuff as well.
Okay.
Fire.
So yeah, they showed a lot of stuff. It was just that the thing was so long, I couldn't watch the entire thing.
Yeah, they were like on 6 hours. When I got home, they were still going, and I looked at the timestamp, and we were like 6 hours in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I got stuff
that's way
to do,
too
man.
long, man. That's way too
Yeah,
long.
like I'm gonna try to look at it. So when I go back to COD or Yakuza, shit, I'll just look at it all the way
Hopefully
through.
they
Oh,
release the gameplay
showed
stuff by
some
itself.
They showed some the gameplay of the Yakuza one.
Yeah,
Yakuza
like a
7.
Talking
dragon.
to the developers.
Yeah,
I
I
like
need to see
that. The turn-based joint. That joint was hot.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
like
yeah.
like I'm at the end of the Zero, then I'm hopping into Kiwami, but like it's like one of those good Chinese Japanese like crime dramas, and I'm loving it. So like I'm really digging it.
Yeah. It's about politics and like the mob, like with
Yeah,
the
like
mob, like
sound like
mobster
it's
politics.
so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. Like, I fuck with it.
Yeah, I still gotta play Judgment. Judgment is a spin-off of Yakuza,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about like private detective. You know what I mean? Trying to solve crimes, and you have like tools and stuff you do that you have to like solve crimes, stuff like that. And that one's real good too.
Yeah, shit is almost in the same vein as those old shit like Chow Yun fat or like Jackie Chan
Yeah,
films. It's
hard
like
boiled.
like it feels like that. Like it definitely feels
Yeah,
like
Yeah, man, I
that where
wish it
I'm
was
enjoying
like
the hell out of the
freaking like
story.
you said hard boiled. I remember that game freaking Stranglehold. The
Yeah,
best one of the
Stranglehold.
best
Yeah.
games
yeah.
I played, bro. They need to.
Watching Dog. I hope Square comes out with another Watchdog, man.
Oh yeah, Watch Dogs. I was playing through that too. Like I just got that game recently for like $5, and I wanted to play through it, and I'm loving it actually. Like some of the combat's kind of ass, but like I mean, other than that, like it's cool. Like I like the story.
Yeah. Well, I want to just people because people in the throughout this whole show, people was like, "Oh, why y'all talk about PlayStation? This playing a PlayStation? I thought this was playing an Xbox." Well, Xbox barely has any news, and the most news to talk about is PlayStation related. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to talk about anything. And for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, is going to be mostly PlayStation related. But don't worry, like Xbox is going to have this shit kicking off soon. And we're just going to be talking nothing about
Yeah,
Xbox
in July. Like it's just talking
or
about
even June.
games though, because you got like the summer games thing going on.
That's
Then you
true.
have then you have this Sony situation going on, and then Xbox is going to come up next. It's kind of like in the same window, or it is in the same window as E3. So like everybody's showing some stuff right now that like you can
Yeah.
just all talk about. Like I just want to talk about games. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, it is what it
And
is.
guess what? And some of you guys, y'all gonna see some games tomorrow at the PlayStation event that you're gonna be able to play on your Series
Yeah,
X as well.
exactly.
We've
Yep.
been talking about
Some
Xbox
good
for
old.
months, anyways. They've been having all the PR for the past couple months in terms of the
Yeah, for the
features
couple
that come with the
months.
system. Like people actually got hands on with the Xbox Series X
Hmm.
and talked about what it's capable of. So we know what we're getting from Xbox already. I'm not gonna rehash the same old shit that I already know. Like you know what Xbox is coming with. We need to know what Sony's coming with because competition is
Exactly.
important. To understand that they
Hmm.
both are coming with very compelling products during the holiday season means that we're gonna have great prices for both consoles because they're not gonna try to, undercut each other or anything like that because they have to be head to head right there.
Hmm.
And we can't deny that. Like Microsoft has been doing a pretty good job on the way that they've been rolling out the Series X comparative to how they were rolling out Xbox One in 2013. And
Yeah.
2013 was a disaster. This pales in comparison to that.
Yeah, man. I hope they do a great job in July, man. I hope they show me a few games. I'll be like, damn, like I might have to get an Xbox for that. You know what I mean? So we'll
Oh
see.
We
yeah, we
will
also
see.
got some new Game Pass games coming in for this
Yeah,
month.
yeah. Go over that, Nick, before we get out of here. You recall the
Let me
games
pull
there?
them up. Well, I know for sure it's Kingdom Hearts 2 point. What is it? 2.5.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
It's
this
those.
probably
one.
2.5 remix.
Yeah, but they got two of them
Yeah.
going in there.
It's Kingdom
That's
Hearts
it.
HD Collection, so it's 1.5 and 2.5 remix,
Oh,
2.8
okay.
final chapter. You have No Man's Sky,
No Man's
um,
Sky. Yeah.
Battlefleet. Yeah, you have those. Also, Halo 3 ODST Firefights coming this summer as well. So for you guys who do play MCC, both PC and console is gonna have Firefight from Halo 3 ODST coming. That's gonna be pretty fun.
Oh,
Get
that's
some
gonna.
co-op action.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah. I ain't played
That's the
that
one
one.
thing I respect about 343 though. Like everybody knows Halo Master Chief Collection when it launched, it was pretty bad,
Yeah,
but they managed to fix the game and still support it to this very day. And then they had a resurrection with that game by bringing it to PC. So
yeah. They've
some pretty
been
good stuff out of them.
doing that game for about 5 years. The game was in.
Hmm.
Yeah, they probably been working on
Well,
that whole collection for about a good 10 years when you consider the before release.
At least they didn't pull a dice and just abandon Battlefield
and just
5. Like,
abandon it.
Yeah,
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 they
I
just
mean,
abandoned the game.
hopefully, hopefully they learn through the growing pains that when Halo Infinite comes out, it has a smooth launch. Because if Halo Infinite comes out and it's as bad as Master Chief Collection, that's gonna be bad. But hopefully it's not, man. Hopefully it's not.
Yeah, I mean, remember
Oh
they had the
no, they
same concern
don't.
with Halo 5 because Halo 5 launched after, and that was fine. No issues with Halo 5 when they.
Well, Halo Master Chief Collection. It was like 4 studios working on that damn game. It wasn't 343. Like, dude, now when they reworking it, it's 343. But that shit was like 5 studios, man. Like,
Yeah, they outsourced a lot of it because they were still developing Halo 5.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that the Halo Master Chief Collection's in the state that it's in now, because it was pretty bad back then, not being able to find a match, instability while playing campaign, game would just crash out of nowhere. So way better position now than back then. They still have some things to tweak on PC, but overall it's still a good experience to play the game now. And the player base is still alive on there.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, though, I'm about ready to shut it down. Want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys obviously tomorrow with some sort of stuff. Obviously, there's gonna be a whole lot of talk going on tomorrow. So I'm looking for it. Looking forward to the shits. I'm wishing you the best of luck, Chris. But yeah, Next Generation is finally stopping. Finally starting. I'm here for the bullshit, so I'm here for the bullshit.
I'm wishing you the best of luck.
I'm gonna be fine.
I'm wishing you the best of
blowing
luck.
kids
Once you see that shit that is coming tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. To all those who joined the membership, who sent the super chats, hit the like button. Thank you guys for watching Play Xbox episode 16. We'll be back here next week. By the time next week, Last of Us 2 will still not be out, right?
No, but the review embargo will be out.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to say this. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. You guys have a good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. To my PlayStation fellas, hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. If not, I'm on that ass.
Yeah.